Hi, I'm Will.
Hey, and I'm Tasha. Welcome back to My Better Half.
Well, we're really excited we get this opportunity to be able to be with you. The marketplace today has me in Thailand, and I'm actually in Bangkok, and I get the opportunity to be able to be a marketplace minister, engaging with the Bangkok Church of Christ here and their foundation. Also, having the privilege of being able to meet with business leaders and explore business opportunities, and really live out our purpose, Tasha and I's purpose as marketplace ministers. And I'm all the way here, 11 time zones away, and Tasha's back in Virginia, really taking care of business.
Babe, I'm so jealous.
I hear
I'm
you.
so jealous.
Well,
This is
I
so
wish you were
unfair.
here, but I'm grateful that we have this opportunity to be able to connect this way.
I am too. But before we jump in today, let's check in with the people. All right, so last week we had a marriage minute, and it's called the sundown box that we were supposed to put our phones in at a certain time, whatever you guys chose. And then you're not supposed to get that phone out of the sundown box until the morning after you have had your 6 second kiss with your special someone. And I would love to know how that went for people out there. I feel like we should create a feedback loop for this one in particular, like an ongoing feedback loop,
Right.
because I feel like this will change lives. Literally. Okay, true confessions. It has not changed our life yet because we have not done it. But we are
We've
gonna
not.
do it, I promise. And I want to know how it
Well,
goes for everybody else once we do it too. We'll tell you how it went for us once we do it.
and for us, we're in transit right now, and so it's challenging for us to be able to do that,
Yes,
and we're not able to practice our 6 second
extremely
kiss.
challenging.
But we're also just getting adjusted to different time zones. But I'm really trying to make sure that I'm being intentional, following the natural rhythms of wherever I am, and I want to encourage you wherever
Yes.
you are to really
Good,
get in sync as well.
good, good. So today we're going to go deeper into relaxation, and we're talking about the physiology of the why and the power of the vagus nerve. All of that sounds extra fancy, but we're going to break that down, right?
Yes, we
So
are.
we have spent, you and I, honey, we have spent like 15 weeks talking about our mission and our architecture of our marriage. But here's the wow factor of all of that. Your body actually knows if you're living on purpose or if you're just living on autopilot. So
Yeah.
if your why isn't clear, then your nervous system stays in a state of high alert and you're always stressed out because it doesn't know what it's fighting for. Isn't that interesting?
It is really wild how our bodies are, and and we're fully integrated beings. So our bodies, our minds, and our soul are fully integrated, and most of us spend our lives
Hmm.
constantly with our foot on the gas. I mean, we are just like Formula Oneing
Yeah.
it all throughout our life, or living in an ambulance all throughout our lives. Like we're just driving through, all the lights are on, we're just blaring, going forward with the music going, and
Yeah.
that just creates so much physical, emotional, and relational stress.
Yeah. That doesn't sound so bad as you're as you're explaining it, but living it is a lot worse than that. It is
Living it
bad,
is.
even though it doesn't
Yeah.
sound that bad. Yes. So today we're moving from fight or flight, to
Mhm.
rest and digest. Like that's our whole goal today. We're showing you the science of how your spiritual mission and physically heals your physical heart. Okay? So how are we
Yep.
going to do this? The very
So,
first thing we'll talk about is how this relates to your vagus nerve, okay? So your vagus nerve is the commander of your parasympathetic nervous system. It basically runs your whole nervous system, and it measures how you bounce back from stress. Like this is the way you can tell if you are someone who is healthy and has a healthy vagus nerve, or somebody who is unhealthy who latches on to stress and holds on to it. So
yeah,
how do we calm this down once we figure out that we're stressed out all the time?
I think the first part of any
One of the
problem
ways
is
that we
accept.
can do that, yes.
No, I just
Have
saying.
you
I think
accepted yours? Did you figure it out?
Yeah, so I'm in the middle of making sense of it for myself. And I think the first way that we're able to make
Yes.
sense of that is accepting that we have a problem, you know?
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. I remember one day I was in the house with you guys, and I was trying to go to an appointment. I was waiting for one appointment to end here, and I was leaving to go to another one. I was stressed about being late and stressed about missing this appointment that was here at the house. And I remember my Apple Watch. I looked down at my Apple Watch and it beeped and it told me to breathe. It literally
Mm,
said breathe. I had to be reminded to breathe. And that's what we need literally on a daily basis, to remember that we just need to breathe. And there's a very, very good like strategy to calm yourself down, to reset your vagus nerve once you see how anxious you have become. And basically, what you can do is sit quietly and breathe in for 4 and then breathe out for 6. It's so simple. I taught my son how to do it today. He was working through all the things he was anxious about, all the blessings that he has. And I was like, listen, all you need to do is calm yourself down. This is how you do it. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm going to try it today. But I tried it today and it's actually very helpful. Just you can feel your anxious thoughts actually melting away, like calming themselves down.
yeah, absolutely. It's wild. You look back on your life and you think, how did I miss this for so long? How have I gone so much of my life
I know, so
constantly
simple.
with my foot on the gas, not taking the time to relax. And the
Mm-hmm.
body holds a
Yep.
score. Like your body knows. And a lot of the challenges that we have, with our health, a lot of the challenges that I have with our mental health, our physical health, our spiritual health, is related to the fact that we
Mm-hmm.
don't take the time
Yeah.
to stop, to breathe, to relax. In research,
Mm-hmm.
as we look at psychosomatic medicine, it shows that individuals who have a strong sense of purpose in life have lower levels of risk for cardiovascular events. So here's the thing: the fact that you have a purpose, a plan, a mission, that you're getting something done is actually good for your heart health. So your mindset
Mm-hmm.
affects your heart health.
And it's really good for couples to have that same vision. So if you have a vision with your spouse, then it helps both of you to calm
Mhm.
down. You both have less risk of cardiac arrest. You both have less risk of traumatic physical instances happening in your lives because you're calmer. Just because you have a shared vision, just because you have a shared purpose. So,
Absolutely.
Will, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Okay. So, right now in our lives, we got a lot of balls, a lot of irons in the fire, like tons. All right. And we're just waiting to see which one's gonna light the brightest, right? Because we have so many irons in the fire, right? So
Yeah.
does remembering what this is all for actually help you with the stress that you feel in your chest when you're like you're kind of hoping things would work out, or if things won't work out this the way, or if things don't work out the way you think they should, does the why help you to get through that?
The why is all of what helps me to get through that. I mean, it's all about the why, and so I really every day try to center myself on why am I doing what I'm doing, and for me, the big why right now is, our son has launched. I'm so proud of him that he's launched, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
continue as parents to provide lots of support and encouragement. But now the why is our daughter,
Yeah,
like our daughter,
it's a
she's headed off.
consultation gig, just don't forget that.
Oh no, no, I'm all into being a consultant, and all about that
Yes.
consultancy life. But the why for me is making sure that we're really helping our daughter to make this next transition over the next 4 to 8 years, and
Mm-hmm.
that we are also really setting up our lives so that we can live lives of overwhelming generosity and
Mm-hmm.
professional vitality. And so I try to stay focused on the why. Without a doubt, it's a real struggle. And the things that we're talking to you guys about are things that we're working through ourselves in real time. And so,
Yeah.
we are
Yeah.
practitioners of the same experiences that we're expressing to you. And so I hope you know that, so that you really feel confident that you can do this, that you should do this, and that you can take the
Yeah.
small steps. Just 1 minute a day, every day, makes a huge impact. One of the things I learned being on this trip was so profound is that if every day you chose to be 1% greater, so you decided every day I'm going to be greater every day by 1%, not a massive amount, just 1%, then in the course of 365 days, you would
Mm-hmm.
have grown 37%, 36.5%, which is, I mean, not 36%. You'd be
Wow.
37% greater. So when you think about that, I mean, there's very few returns on investment that can have that kind of compound impact.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the compound decisions that every day I'm just going to be 1% better than I was yesterday. So I'm going to breathe more. I'm going to sleep 1% more. I'm going to relax. I'm going to take the time to focus. I'm going to really be intentional and be dialed into my why.
So do you think if you were to take one, like, let's say, if I were to say, okay, today, what's the one thing I'm going to do for myself to help myself to be focused or to calm down? What's the one thing I'm going to do? If I say I'm going to breathe today, whenever I feel anxious, that's my 1% for that day.
Yeah,
That one decision is a 1%.
that's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Every
I
day.
appreciate that.
The key to
All
all
right.
growth is consistency. So I think what happens is we get overwhelmed
Mm-hmm.
because we're like, oh my gosh, I'm not healthy. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing what I need to do. I'm so far behind. The truth is, you've got to learn how to do what the scriptures say. Forget what's behind and strain towards what's ahead. But just little steps. Never underestimate the
Mm-hmm. And
power of
also live in the
small
moment.
choices. Live in the moment.
Live in the
Yes.
moment. Enjoy what you got for the day, for that moment. Like, live in the
Yes.
moment. I truly believe that's what Jesus meant when he said life to the full, is actually being able to live and be in the moment and enjoy it for what it actually is.
Yeah. And for me, Tasha, I'll tell you, my 1% today is I'm gonna choose to eat healthy today. So, I was in Vietnam and I took lots of pictures of vegetables. So I ate a lot of
Oh,
vegetables. You've been trying for 26 years to get me to eat vegetables. I ate a lot of
I
vegetables,
have.
and
I have.
I ate a lot of vegetables. And so today I'm just gonna be
I'm so
healthy.
proud of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose to. I drank a lot of water. I've been listening to you, drinking a lot of water, eating a lot of vegetables.
Oh.
And here's a gut check here, a gut health moment, if you will. 90% of our body's serotonin is
Mm-hmm.
actually produced in the gut, which directly connects to your brain via your vagus nerve. If you're spiritually anxious, your gut is the first to know. You can't lead with gut feelings if your gut is
Mm.
constantly in a state of panic. So I'm trying to make sure that my center, my core, that I'm drinking lots of water, eating healthy things, that I recognize that
Mm.
90% of my serotonin is produced in my stomach. And so my goal is that by the time I see you, I would have been 20 times healthier because every day I'm going to be 1% healthier every day. That's my goal. I get to see you again in 20 days.
Well, just so you know, I'm taking the challenge too. You're not gonna recognize me when you come home. You and be like, who is that woman right there? That's what's gonna happen.
All about that
So
life. All about that life. So just want to say,
all about it,
distance
all about
definitely
it. I
makes the
gotta I
heart grow
gotta
fonder.
remind you of who you coming home to. Yes, it does.
All
Is
about
that
that.
what's happening?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
Taj,
So
I have
earlier
I have a
I asked
question
you
for
about
you.
your why, and I just want you to know. Okay, go ahead. What's your
Yeah,
question?
so vulnerability is really key. So I wanted to ask you, yeah. We talked about spiritual intimacy. We've talked a
Yeah.
lot about spiritual intimacy. Why is it that when we pray together, that our physical hearts actually
Mm-hmm.
slow down? And what happens for you when the two of us pray together? Let's talk a little bit about spiritual intimacy as well as we're talking about, really thinking in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, Especially when I'm going through something, when I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling worried or there's a lot to worry about in life. So when I'm working through something emotionally, that's the most helpful for me is when we take our prayer walks together. And the reason why it's so amazing, literally, as we start to share our hearts with God together, I get a chance to hear your thoughts and your longings and your worries and your anxieties. And you get a chance to hear mine, me really express my heart to God and what's really going on, what I'm really carrying. I feel like you know me so much because of those prayer walks. I feel like I know you so much because of those prayer walks. But it actually is great because one of my favorite scriptures talks is in First Peter, and it talks about how Jesus literally says, "Cast your anxiety on me because I care for you." And that's our chance to be able to cast our anxiety on Him, and that helps me to calm down. That helps me to have confidence that God has me in His hands. That helps me to have confidence that my future is bright. He has a plan for us, but I need to do that with you because that converges our thoughts and our plans and our hearts together with God. And it truly is a strand, a cord of three strands.
That's awesome. The scriptures also teach that a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up bones. So our spirits directly affect our
Hmm.
skeletal and our immune health. So I just want to say, a lot of times people think that when we're
Hmm.
talking about spirituality, we're talking about being religious. Tasha and I have long since let
Right.
go of being religious. C.S. Lewis says, of all bad men, religious bad men are the worst. So we're not trying to be religious people
Yes, they
that
are.
just kind of, you know, share what we think, but we don't actually live it. We're actually trying to be spiritually aligned
Yeah.
with God vertically and with each other
Yeah.
horizontally. I mean, that's really how we're trying to live our life. And I will tell you, it's a life worth living. It's an
Mm.
amazing life. God's word is true. God's principles are right. God creates clear rhythms and creates us to have self control and to really have self governance. And the truth is,
Mm.
you can't manage anything else if you can't manage yourself. So you've got to focus on self mastery.
Yeah.
Like the ability to say no to your impulse and go to sleep is really key. The ability to say no to unhealthy
Hmm.
foods. Enjoy your food, but saying no to unhealthy foods. Enjoy all the things that you've been
Hmm.
given, but understand that anything in excess is detrimental to you. So you want to be really, really mindful of that. In Isaiah 40 and verse 31, it says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will
Hmm.
soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary." You want to make sure that you are being renewed by God, renewed physically, emotionally, spiritually every day.
Mm. I love that. I love that. And the last scripture we're going to go through is Jeremiah 29:11. For I
Mhm.
know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. That's actually what I remember when we pray. That's how
Yep.
I walk away, encouraged and believing that God has hope and a future for us. One of the things I was thinking about as well too is connection is the ultimate regulator of the human heart. When you're
Yeah.
connected to God, connected to each other, connected to human beings, not your device, not any of those other distractions, it actually regulates your heart. Isn't that incredible?
That is absolutely incredible. And Tasha, the
Connection.
truth is, purpose is the cooling system for a high performance mind. So if you're going to have a high performance mind, I mean,
Okay.
your mind is it is a hyperscaled data center that's just like cranking stuff out, right? But you need cooling, and purpose
Yeah.
is the cooling system
Yeah.
that really levels everything out and guides you as you're going forward.
And if you have purpose, you can make it through just about anything because you know
Yes,
what
you
your
can.
why is.
That's right.
All right, babe. It's time for our marriage minute. It's time. So this particular marriage minute, our challenge is we're gonna learn the vagal tone breath. Okay, so that's what we're
Okay.
gonna learn how to do. The goal
Okay.
is to manually trigger parasympathetic nervous system and reset the vagus nerve. Basically, how do you calm yourself down? All right. The rule is once a day before dinner, without your phone or anything, you sit together for 3 minutes. That's it. You're just gonna sit
Wow. Okay.
together for 3 minutes. You're not doing nothing. I don't care I don't care if you talk, I don't care if you do anything else, but you have nothing else you have to do.
Okay.
And the action is you want to perform a 4-8 breath. Okay. So you're going to inhale for 4 counts 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1 and exhale for 8 counts. And this long exhale is the secret code that actually tells your vagus nerve to slow your heart down.
Wow.
So we're going to breathe in for 4. I see you. Hold for 1 and breathe out for 8. You like it, don't you?
Yeah. That's I could do
All
that.
right.
That's a rhythm
That
I
is an
can do.
easy challenge
So
for us to
four
do
one
while
eight.
we're not together. Yes.
Okay.
418. That's it. All right.
Okay. Well, I'm so
The
grateful that
look
we
in your
get a
face is
chance.
classic.
But I'm just grateful. Hey man, I'm learning to relax. I'm learning to chill, which by the way is
Yes.
not my strength.
Yes.
I mean, I've been a grinder my whole life,
It's not your
and
thing.
it's not my thing.
Yes.
So this is good. I love learning new things though.
Nope.
And I love all the science and the wisdom
Yes.
that you're dropping for us. I hope this has been helpful for all of you. I just want to let you know you can do this, and you don't have to do some big transformation of
Yes.
your life all in one day. Just your goal is every day, 1%
Mm-hmm.
change, just 1% change every day will make you 37 times greater over the course of a year. But we just want you to get good,
Mm-hmm.
good incremental growth, being good to your body, good to your mind, good to your heart, fully integrated with your mind, your body, and your soul.
Yes. So, just a reminder, this has been a great time tonight or today, whatever time it is for you. It's right now. Right now, for Will, it's the morning, and for me, it's the night. So, it's been a great time being with you. Just want to remind you to subscribe and to join us on this recovery journey. This is such a life changing journey, and I'm excited to hear how this works for you all.
Awesome. Well, we love you guys. We look forward to catching you on the
We'll
other
see you
side.
next week.